Hello. Hello.
Hello.
It's like a pack of wolves all of a sudden.
Hey there, welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage in usually sunny, sometimes foggy and frigid cold Santa Cruz, California, but that's okay, we appreciate it anyway.
Yeah, huh? What's the weather?
What time is it?
Hey everyone, this is Liza, and I'm doing all right. I just want to put that out there. I'm doing all right.
You look good. You got red. You're going red. I haven't. You've been KTM for a long time now. It's odd to
I
see
wear
you
the
red.
KTM orange hat so you can find me in a crowd. It works good.
It's brilliant.
It does.
Yep.
It's not flattering for my complexion.
Is it hard to find Liza in a crowd?
That is true.
Yeah. Definitely not an orange hat. But yeah.
That is true. And of course, that is the dulcet tones of Stumpy John.
What's up? Over here pre-gaming for next week. Woohoo. Can't wait.
Yeah, this is the group, the Quattro, right?
Yep.
Quattro fucking Cinco.
Oh, yes. And of course, smartest man in the room, that's Naked Jim.
Hey, what's happening? Glad to be here. Yeah, looking forward to Mid-Ohio too. It is, it's a pilgrimage worth making.
Mud, Ohio.
Mud-Ohio,
Well, what you were
yeah.
saying is it's going to be cloudy with a chance of nakedness.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah. Like I said, what happens in Ohio hopefully stays in Ohio. But, dude, people set the bar much higher than I do. That's for sure.
And of course, sitting in his garage, working on the project he needs to have ready very soon, very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bagel.
Greetings from Roasty Toasty, Oregon.
Oh.
Roasty Toasty.
Yeah, it's been up in the 90s here. It's
Ooh.
hot.
We were joking yesterday as we were riding through the fog bank to get to the races. Like, we're like, what's with this heat wave? Like, we're looking at a high of 68 today.
It's so crazy. It's like, first of all, shout out to the people back east, Pennsylvania, Vermont, New York. They're getting flooded out, and a lot of people's shit's getting jacked up. So
That's true.
Yeah, hang tough out there. I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
and
apparently anyone east of 2 miles from the ocean.
you're either getting scorched or you're getting flooded. But it was kind of silly. We were down in Monterey yesterday, left here. Probably a steady 63 degrees between
59.
Between Santa Cruz, breakfast in Watsonville, and back down to the track. But it's funny, as soon as we went 2 miles inland, pow, blue sky just blew up, like just bam out of the clouds. But it was funny. So I went back into it. Back up, came home.
Yeah, me too.
So just quickly, I went up to San Francisco yesterday after the races. When we went over the hill into say like Woodside and all that on 280. It was 95 degrees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 90 coming home. So and then back into Santa Cruz, it was 70 or 68.
No, I was using my heated grips yesterday.
Oh, gosh.
And if anyone wants to understand what's happening, why do we have such cold weather here? Well, this happens every summer when it gets really hot. You have the inland heated air meets the ocean, which creates a fog bank, which keeps it cold here and moist.
The mountains that come on the other side of us.
The mountains. So there's all,
I thought it was Mr.
basically
Freeze-Meister.
It's basically a giant swamp cooler is what's happening.
Yeah, so we tend to have our cooler weather in the hot summers. The hotter it is anywhere else, the cooler it is
And
here.
every Yahoo from Central California comes here.
You're a Yahoo, John.
I am.
A lot of motorbikes today, though. We were hanging at the house, and you could hear them all day long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, tons of bikes out.
I had people here this morning. There was somebody here. So normally I go out and open the garage at 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I have like at 10:50. I'm like, I still have time to run and grab some food. And there was somebody out in the parking lot waiting. I'm like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I just left him, and I came back, and there were 2 people. I'm like,
So I was walking down.
And you shut up, thankfully.
I was walking down the street, and I saw you around the same time, and I saw you coming back on the scooter. And you came on the scooter and pulled in the garage. And I thought, for some reason, I'm like, oh, you went to the auto parts store or something. But what I thought was you project yourself so differently on that little Honda Elite scooter with the skid head helmet than like say on the
skid head with the flames.
Yeah. Like then the 690 Enduro. I'm like, look at that nerdy old lady on the scooter. I'm like, oh, it's Liza. But on the 690 or whatever your boss is, whatever. But yeah.
I own that, yes. So I'll quickly talk about today. So I was able to help somebody today. There was a lot of just us hanging around, watching races on the TV.
Yeah.
That's been a good addition. Shooting the shit with people who came by. We got to check out an Aprilia Touareg.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Touareg.
It sounds like the Volkswagen name.
Touareg.
Yeah.
660?
680, I think.
I thought
It was more than 650. That's all I know. Could have been
Okay.
650.
I would say that that's another legitimate entry into the mid-sized adventure bike.
I would say it's not cost prohibitive for an Aprilia.
Right.
It's not. I mean, it was cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
How much was it? You remember?
Like 12.5, something like that.
Oh,
I looked it up. It was because I guessed 10.9 and you guessed like 13, so it was in between. It was 11.9, so 12.
It's a Tenere basically. It's a Aprilia Tenere. So
Tenere that's going to break more. It's going to cost you much more to maintain.
Yeah, but I thought for like what is only 15 or $2,000 more.
Well, but it has traction control. I mean, it has its own little bank of things. But I think the allure of the Tenere 7 is low tech. It doesn't have that much tech. Has ABS, which is now just common, that you can easily turn off with the push of a button. It's kind of interesting comparing them,
Yeah, well, it is because we've been like at least I've been very interested in these mid-size, adventure bikes now. And yeah, Tenere is much more of a scalpel feel to it, much more narrow. The other thing, someone commented, I didn't hear it because I was on the other side of the fence, but they said it looks like the Transalp.
Oh, the colors, red, white, and
The
it was
whole
red, white,
shape
and
of
lavender.
it, the whole look of it, though, the headlights, I want to say, if I remember, but very Transalp.
It's a dual headlight, isn't it, in the front?
I think so.
So, each of these bikes we're looking at, I'm finding they're each kind of finding one or two little things that they do that no one else is doing. On the CF Moto, I thought it was nice. They had 2 electrical outlets for accessories, right? I'm not seeing that
Well, and
before.
one you could put your cigarette lighter in.
Yeah, one cigarette
your
lighter,
smoker.
accessories, one USB. On this one, on the Touareg, I don't know.
Whatever.
Aprilia.
Yeah.
Aprilia. The brake lever.
Oh yeah, that was
So
clever.
normally you have like one molded piece for the brake lever, but in this one, the actual kind of spiked brake lever was held on. Just the foot little toe pad was held on with 2 bolts.
Oh.
And it was kind of offset. Right, that dropped it down, but it was designed so you can unbolt it, flip it over. Now it's offset up to raise it up. So if you're standing, you want your foot peg, your brake pedal in a different position than when you're sitting because your leg is at a different angle. On my Africa Twin, I bought a little riser that sits on the inside of my brake pedal so that I have a stepped
Yeah, I've seen that.
brake pedal. And in this case, I just thought that was interesting. They just made it
It's clever.
that you could flip it over and it's spiked on both sides, whichever way it sits. I like seeing that kind of ingenuity and stuff. I know it's something small.
Yeah, and it might fall off, but still, it's clever. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool, and I think there was probably we were trying to delve into the electronics, and because that kind of matters more because all bikes, for the most part, most of them are coming with electronics now. And as we found with the CF Moto, some make more sense than others. And I wish we could have found out more because I think that Aprilia probably had more to offer than we could really sort out in the moment.
Yeah, but I'm really enjoying seeing more and more of these midsize. And, I mean, there was a while there we were both riding our 650s all the time. And then we bumped up to leader bikes and we were like, oh, yeah, I needed that. But now I'm like, do I? And I think maybe 650 a little shy, but in this 700 to 800 range, a lot of these bikes are coming in. That might be all the juice you need.
Sometimes I feel like I'm less than because I have the 800 Triumph, but then I really love that bike. It's the right size, it's fast enough, but it's a lot lighter than a 1200.
Yeah, but riding down to Laguna Seca, I love my KTM so much.
Well,
It feels so good.
Yeah, it also depends. Like none of us are getting any younger, and the big adventure bike. If you ride the adventure bikes like they're meant to out in the woods, they fall over, and you got to pick them up. And like I said, my Africa Twin gets heavier every year. But it's a bitch of bike. So on that note, I got a seat in the mail. I got a low, Africa Twin OEM low seat.
Oh.
And I didn't come by the garage today with it, but I put it on, and I can stand flat-footed with my knees bent.
Really?
Ooh.
On the Africa Twin, which is quite game-changing.
How much did it give you? Like 2 inches?
Maybe something like that. I don't know. I went from basically tippy-toeing for the most part,
Right.
not flat-footed for sure, but tippy-toeing for the most part, to flat-footed on both feet with bent knees. So it's game-changing, but at the same time, still 530 pounds of motorcycle.
The Bergman's the only thing I could flat foot.
Yeah.
Well, so I said that I helped somebody. So the gentleman came by today on the Zero. Bagel's going like, you helped someone with a Zero? Yes, this was it. Definitely in my wheelhouse. And he said, well, it's for about a year or so I've been riding with the handlebars or the forks are crooked and it just, points one direction. I'm like, all right, we can do this right now. He said, oh, I didn't want to get into a big project. I'm like, no, bring it right over here to this fence post. Put it against there. Now push your handlebars. And the handlebars literally went about 3 inches around. I mean, there's a lot of flex. I mean, and then it bounces back. And then he's like, that's it? That's it. Sometimes that's all you need to do. It's kind of alarming how much flex there is when you get your wheel against something that doesn't have flex, because we're used to getting put it between your knees. There's flex from the body. You put it against something hard like a 4x4 post and then just push on the handlebars. It's amazing how much you can tweak it. And he was like, I can't believe it's that simple. I'm like, yep. And he's like, well, wow, I've just been putting this off and that was so simple. I'm like, what else you got? He goes, my throttle grip is loose, but I'll get to that. And I look down and it's the heated grips, like I have. What happens a lot of time with the heated grips, they're built onto a harder ABS cylinder, so they're not the rubberized touching the grip, the bars. Happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, no, let's just take off your hand protector and back it up. No, there's not enough length in the wire that go into it. I only need a couple inches. He said, what? I just run in and get a little tube of super glue, put it, pound it on. There you go, you're set. And he was just like, wow. Thinking he's in for like a big project.
Yeah. Well, do you know how he ended up becoming a Zero owner?
Well, he's got a Zero and an AHRMA. And a DRZ. He's got a bunch of bikes.
Oh, so he's been around bikes enough. Okay.
He's one of the wackadoos.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because the other thing with the forks, right, is you can just unloosen the triple tree clamps and bing, it'll
and
pop
that's
back
what I
in.
said. If it goes back to offset, then maybe something actually is bent, and that would be the next thing to do. But for now, no, it seems straight. Like, right. But if something is off, then it will pull it back to off. If not, you're good. If it does pull back, it's simple as loosen the axle a little bit, loosen the lower clamps a little bit, not the upper clamps, as long as they're even, and then just give it a little wiggle. But yeah, it really is it's scary how much play there is in that. We can, and just an update. We're going to have to keep getting updates. John.
Yeah.
Cooper, who came to the garage today, just before we sat down, sent a report. He's crashed.
Yep, in the ditch with his Harley.
Victim of the Santa Cruz Mountains.
John got the, can you come get me? It's like,
yeah.
No.
So he was headed home on 9, and he said there was a little bit of it wasn't a landslide. You know how sometimes the dirt will just kind of go out into the street?
Oh, yeah.
And he didn't see that, so he ran over that, lost traction, looked like he low side and went into the ditch.
And he's on a Harley choppery kind of thing, right?
It's a Sportster, basically. But the nice thing is he said he had a jacket on, and because I've always been lecturing him about gear. Jacket did this job, no road rash, no nothing. Got up and
he has good looking tattoos. You would not want to mess those up.
No, that's expensive.
Well, yeah, sorry. I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah, he's good.
Well, good. It reminds me, I saw some crashes yesterday. So yesterday we went, and it was the second week in a row of races at Laguna Seca. Woo woo!
It's a good birthday month. Birthday month continues.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, John, to recognize John was generous enough to buy us breakfast.
Yes, thank you. Jim's birthday
in Watsonville.
week, my birthday week.
Very much thank you.
Craig the Giant's birthday week.
Yeah.
Melissa's was on the 1st.
Melissa's on the
Happy
1st.
birthday.
Oh, and Mrs. Stumpy joined us yesterday, too.
She did, yeah.
Did she have fun?
She had a good time. That's the first time she's been on the back of a bike since 30 years ago.
Oh my God! Well, she was immersed in it yesterday. That's
she had a good time.
Yeah,
I'm glad she had fun.
Well, and like all good rides, it started with a good meal. Live to ride,
that place
ride
is
to
the
eat.
bomb.
You like that?
Yeah, that place. Every time it's great.
It's a hidden gem.
Yeah. So, Bagel, I don't know if you know about this place in Watsonville, Beach Street Cafe. So it's in Watsonville.
So.
It's in the middle of this industrial area where all the processing plants are for all the agriculture places.
And
right?
when we say industrial, it's farmland, so it's farm industrial.
But the road that this is on is all these big warehouses and facilities and stuff. And so normally this is like feeding the people working in all of these packaging plants and everything. But on the weekends, you can go in. It's an old school little, diner with bomb food. Yeah. Big, huge portions.
Cool.
Huge portions.
Yeah. Great service. They're on it. They got the outdoor dining since the COVID kicked in. I had a...
that was a chili verde omelet you had.
Yeah, pretty much chili verde omelet. It was killer, yeah. Super proteiny, too.
Yeah, next time you're in town, Bagel, you got to check it out.
And the hash
definitely.
that your wife got was the hash that they split.
Was good.
Yeah. Numbnuts Matt
Numbnuts
Matt rolled hard.
So then we rolled on down through the fog bank, the frigid cold.
That is Monterey.
To Laguna Seca. Now this is a completely different event from last week. Last week we were at Moto America, which is
there were Italians there.
I didn't see any Harleys there this week. This is more of the club event. So less vendors, less people, but more access to everybody.
Mostly family and friends. I would say most of the people there are family, friends, and racers,
Yeah, exactly. It's more just you can just, whoever's standing next to you, you can start a conversation with. It's like we're all there at a family reunion kind of thing, Has Yeah, and they have a classic bike show. They've got a swap meet. They've got... a lot of stuff going on.
Soft serve ice cream.
That ice cream's the best thing they have there.
Yeah, y'all killed it right out the gate.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm. So in this, you have sidecar racing. You have vintage bikes. Now, by vintage bikes, it might be like bikes from like the 60s, 70s to now these modern sport bikes that are, I don't know, 20, 25 years old. So I think there's like Gixxers and stuff like that out there, and they're getting on it. They're having fun. The sidecars are fun to watch. Sidecars are great. Definitely are. Yeah. But the other special thing is, and they only do it at AHRMA, not at Moto America, is if you go... So the Laguna Seca is basically in a bowl. It looks like an old lake bed, right? You're in this little bowl. But if you go up over the hill past behind the grandstands into the overflow parking lot field, they turn it into vintage motocross just for the weekend of AHRMA. I'll tell you, I love it.
It's a great track too. Mm-hmm. It's it's super hilly and sandy in the right spots, and it's a proper old school.
We're at another dish. It's a dish, and we just bring our folding chairs and we set them up on the edge of the track at the top of the dish, and you can look down and see the dish. In fact, it is one of my favorite moments. It reminds me a lot of On Any Sunday Come to Life.
Right.
You
flying W's and everything.
You sit down in your chairs, and these bikes start coming. You got old 2-strokes.
Oh, yeah.
You got 4-strokes. You got Pentons and all sorts of...
Saw an Elsinore ripping it up out there.
And we've got this nice, cold coastal breeze just keeping us cool and in the sun and just a view of the valley beyond. And it creates this, like, perfect moment. And we're just sitting there taking it all in, smelling the 2-stroke. Listening to the engines, chatting with anyone sitting around us. It's a perfect moment to me.
I think that moment's duplicated in a lot of America during the summer months. I think there's a lot of small town racing where everyone gathers with their family and friends and puts on some old jerseys and gets out the old dirt bikes, and because literally this is in just an open area of an old military complex basically, and it's a lot of up and down through some dry grass and oaks, and I think they just drug a farm disc through it a few times to create the track. And
you get old people racing, man. Old people racing these old bikes.
Yeah,
it's amazing to see them
up into their 80s. Which is crazy.
And you're right about the On Any Sunday feel to it, because you can be on different parts of the course and it's not big. Like I said, it goes through these valley oaks. Mm-hmm. But by the time we were there, even it's so loose and loamy. The ruts are deep, and it's not like a smooth motocross track.
No,
it's like someone dropped bombs across these, because you see guys are bouncing all over. It's very vintage like. It's fun to watch.
So I made a comment there. I noticed something that it's hard to tell when somebody is fully geared up if they're a young guy or an old guy, right? And you get young people riding the bikes, but you can tell when they crash.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Young guys kind of just hit the ground, bounce, get up, and grab their bike and go. Old guys flop over on their back, spread eagle, assess their injuries first, and then get up and pick up the bike.
Ideally. Yeah, young dudes are trying to like run to the bike and pick it up. Old people are fighting Jesus.
Gotta take inventory first.
Yeah, there's a flop. Like, what happened? Oh, they're up now. Okay. Yeah, everything's good. But so much fun watching that.
Yeah, very accessible. You know, you can, like I said, we rode that right under the pits because, you know, we like to ride where you're actually not supposed to. But we rode like literally, our first stop, I think, was the very top of the corkscrew.
Yeah.
Past the no vehicle sign.
Well, we had Matt's with us.
We had Matt's.
We had Numbnuts Matt. And then we knew that Breaking Away Matt would be there.
Yeah.
And then we had Matt, who had joined us last week, who needed a nickname so we could discern. And so, was it John? Were you the one? We were like,
I think
well, we don't
so,
have to give him a nickname. He could just be Matt also. We're like, okay, that's good enough. Matt also. So that's now his name is Matt also. He didn't seem terribly pleased.
It's better than Numbnuts.
I voted for Matt the Night Ripper, but you know.
Jim, you had a theory about like when you first meet Liza, you need to do something big, like catch on fire or something. So that will be your nickname.
It's true. You got to be proactive. If you ever come by the garage and you're about to get nicknamed by Liza, absolutely do something dramatic like
Or you'll end up with Stumpy.
Yeah, light yourself on fire, punch the biggest person in the place. I don't know.
That would be Liza.
Yeah, but yeah, it definitely control your destiny.
So we get there and the first thing we do. So I had this plan. All right, here's the thing, guys. We're just going to roll on into the paddocks. Mm-hmm. Well, remember last time they tried to stop us? I know. I just went, huh, and a point. The thing is, you don't stop when somebody's trying to wave you down and point to where you're going. Like you belong there.
And speak Italian. Bada bing, bada boom. And just keep going.
So that happened again. This time we're going. The first time he's like, huh, and I just held up my wrist like I was trying to show him a wristband that wasn't there. I'm like, hey, yeah. And I just kept going. And then, Jim, what did you do?
I did the same. Well, John was distracting him, and I just said, bada bing, bada boom. But I went right on through.
And John, what did you do?
I said, press. He goes, well, okay.
The most important thing in those circumstances is never look behind you. Just never look behind you.
Just keep on going.
Never look behind you.
And then, of course, we parked.
Unless they have a gun with them.
Where you're not supposed to. But see, there's really no rules. Here's my thing. As long as you're not like being respectful, we parked in a place that wasn't in the way of anybody's shit.
No, but it was closest to the self-serve ice cream.
It was. It was like 10 steps.
I know. And then just what a beautiful day. We walk over, check out the bikes. I got to see a bike I've never seen in real life before. But I have a model behind me. So one of these models I've had for decades. The Harley, the XLCR, which is what, is this like
late 70s?
80,
Yeah,
82,
early 80s.
maybe 81,
Yeah.
something like that.
AMF era.
Yep.
AMF era.
It's the best thing AMF did.
It's a
Besides bowling balls.
factory cafe racer from Harley.
It's a good looking bike.
Wow.
It is. I would never want to ride it. I assume it rides like crap.
Yeah, I don't think the technology's changed much over the years. But
Yeah.
It is a beautiful bike, though. I love it.
But it is a good looking bike.
It's a good looking bike.
There was one there, and there was a bunch of other stuff on display. Ran into Rob Talbot, who was judging the bikes.
Yep, Robin Crew.
I asked him if he wanted my input on the judging. He said he was good.
But if there's any food on a stick, let me know.
But then we walked over to go watch some racing. So,
did you ever catch up with Yuri?
No.
We were looking for Yuri, huh?
We never found him, yeah.
No, we walked around the pits. I found Dave Roper.
Yeah.
Dave Roper, if you don't know, he's a legend. Bagel, have you heard of Dave Roper?
The name rings a bell.
I interviewed him for Rev Sisters. I thought he was on our show once. Or maybe, I think I may have interviewed the filmmaker who made the film about him. Dave Roper is the only American who has won at Isle of Man.
Right. Yes, we have
And
talked
that was
about him
like,
before.
what, 78 or something? It was a long time ago.
I don't remember.
Maybe it was 80s. It was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I'm trying to look now. Yeah.
2011.
No.
Yeah, we'll be running a store. Yeah,
Dave
Isle of Man
Roper.
TT.
Yeah. When did he win?
V-twin in the 2011 TT. It was Isle of Man.
No, not
1984.
2011. Thank you. 1984.
Yep.
Well, I guess he must have rode it again because it definitely says he rode in 2011 there.
But so he won in 1984. This is no small feat. And he's still the only American to win the TT. But what's more amazing is he has never missed a season of racing. And the man is 75 years old. I asked him, I'm like, how old are you now?
He won twice.
Did he win twice?
2011 and 84.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
He's 75. He looks like a homeless Santa Claus, with his white hair and beard. And
Yeah, he looks like he weighs about 100 pounds.
just a smile on his
Yeah,
face.
cool
and he's
dude.
out there racing the Italian that owned Harley Davidson.
Aramaki.
Aramaki, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they owned Harley, but
No, I think it was the other way
Harley.
around.
no,
thought they owned Harley.
No, I think Harley just contracted with them to build bikes.
Okay. So he's a legend out there. Fun, just to say hi to him. I always look forward to that.
He's just so into the scene because we had found where he was at, and I think he was in stall or whatever they call it, bay number 1. Because what we noticed was his leathers were up, and someone had commented a year or two ago, Dave Roper got new leathers, and it was like the biggest deal ever. Because I guess he'd been racing the other ones for so long. But what a nice, generous guy. We stopped and chatted, and he was all into it, and he was carrying a clipboard for some reason. But yeah, that guy's tough.
Yeah. So we went up to the carousel. We took a numbnuts mat up there. First time at Laguna Seca.
Yep.
You mean corkscrew?
Corkscrew. I keep saying that. Yes, corkscrew. And watching the racing up there. Oh, it was nice.
The track looks so good right now too with the new pavement.
Yeah.
And the sounds of the bikes at the racetrack. You get when you get racing the old bikes, you get big throaty twins, and you get these 2 strokes, and you get
Yeah, well,
You're clamped over there.
I love it.
you can tell the difference, like especially when you're at the start and finish line, because that's when they're all kind of wide open. And it's amazing how throaty and toughy some of these old British bikes are. The Triumphs and the Nortons, they just have this sound like a Spitfire, kind of very identifiable. But that's one of the cool things about AHRMA is there's such a huge breadth of motorcycles, all in one class. And we were saying you can get close to it just being at the entrance when the bikes come on the track, because you can stand right there. It's like you're getting a motorcycle show every 45 minutes or something like that, of just these really bitchin', purpose-built, all sorts of race bikes.
I could go to sleep to this soundtrack. Oh, I love this.
That's because you sleep with John a lot.
Now I get it.
Well, you'll get a little taste next week.
Yeah, oh gosh. Can you use a different word than taste?
What a great day. Great views, great weather. Just watching racing. But then what you missed, you had to leave early.
Yeah.
Then we went back up and watched more of the dirt biking, and then I went back down. And then I had collected a numbnuts mat, and Matt also. I'm like, hey, you want to go back up and watch the dirt biking again? Neither of them had been there yet. Let's go up there. And as we're riding we're just using our bikes. That's why I wanted to park in the paddock, because I'm just using my bike to get everywhere. And as we were heading out of the paddock, I heard on the loudspeaker, coming up in this race, Dave Roper and Robert Egeter, our friend Robert, who comes by the garage, he was racing. So even though they're following me to go up to the dirt track, I'm like, hold on. We're going to go around to our secret camping spot, viewpoint.
Oh, is that like turn 8 or whatever it is, right before the corkscrew?
And Mike Moore showed us this last year.
Yeah.
And it's this amazing viewpoint right at the other side of the corkscrew, the hill coming up. And it's a left-hand turn going up the hill. And right as we pull up to see the vintage bikes go, somebody crashed, slid across the track, and was laying there motionless.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, oh shit. And we jump off our bikes and we go to the edge. And I could see him kind of like flopping, and he was trapped under the bike. Now there's a flag stand there, and the flagman is just waving the flag up in the stand to all the bikes. And I can hear him on the walkie-talkie going like, what do I do? What do I do? Because this guy is trapped under his bike. And even I turned to the mats. I'm like, I don't know. Should we run down there? Should we help? I mean, this is an organized track. You shouldn't have to jump in, but we were for quite like minutes are going by and nothing's happening. And he's just lying there and writhing. And finally,
it's like, welcome to the big leagues.
Yeah. Finally, the emergency crews show up, and we sat there and watched. I mean, he's just right below us. We had a perfect view. But I was concerned it might have been Dave or Robert. It was a vintage bike, and I couldn't tell because he had the helmet on. And finally, the helmet came off. I'm like, well, it's not Dave because he was kind of bald. And then they sat there. They cut the leathers off him completely. Wow. He was just down to his underwear and boots. And then they put him in the neck collar. And it took quite a long time. The process, it was kind of fascinating watching the process it takes to get not only the bike loaded on a trailer, but getting this person assessed and loaded. I want to say it was in all like maybe 15 or 20 minute delay in the race until they can continue the race. But it was also just kind of shocking that we just happened to ride up in the perfect viewpoint. I was down in the Lake Bid area, and I saw the ambulance crew. So I pulled up and I just said like, hey, that crash in turn 8, is he okay? No, concussion for sure. He was clocked. And that's why I think he was like wriggling around, and his foot was stuck under the bike. But I'm like, it's kind of scary. But he did the old man flop on his back.
He wasn't running to pick it up and get back in the race, was he?
No.
Oh gosh,
that's
scary.
What was concerning.
Well, he got his belt because that's not a slow curve.
No, and I have to say, knowing the age of some of these racers, it is scary. I mean, I'm afraid of tripping on the curb. Most of my injuries come in my sleep. I wake up in the morning injured, and I don't know what I did, let alone getting on a motorbike when you're older, like racing around a track. Well, you had mentioned, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but R1 Rich just got into the racing game. Yeah.
And for someone as skilled and capable as he is, the track's a different thing.
Yeah, he's in his 60s, and he just decided to start racing.
It's great.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. He told me he was shitting bricks out there. So,
do you know what he was on? What was he racing?
He's R1 Rich. He has an R1, but that's not what he's racing on. He bought somebody's SV650 race bike who stopped racing. And he said, God damn it, the first lap, my shifter lever fell off. Or that's for the first race. And then the second race, my left foot peg fell off.
Jeez.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues. That's it.
Yeah, now it's time to make it your own bike and not something that somebody else has been maintaining.
Yeah,
exactly. You buy someone else's
years.
race bike, shit gonna fall off.
Yeah, I got to go through that whole thing now.
Yeah. So what a great weekend, and hanging out with all the Matts and Craig, who was doing his classes there.
Yep.
Nice.
And then Craig, right when I was leaving, Craig was like, I'm going to go enter in the slow race with the CHP.
Oh.
And he goes, I hope them trial riders don't show up. They mess it up for everyone.
Craig's a trial rider.
I know, but they're on trial bikes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he was going to be riding, I think, a TW 200.
Okay, fair enough.
I know. But another good weekend in the bag.
Yeah.
For tonight's topic, I thought it'd be interesting, and it kind of ties in a bit with everything going on in the races. You know, when you go to the track, you take a certain risk, right? The risk of injury. And I think the same applies every day we go out on the road on our motorcycles. We're taking a certain risk. But, this ties in with something that happened to Bagel years ago. And Bagel, you may recall when you crashed your Vespa. Do you remember the situation?
Which crash are we talking about?
Gravel in the road.
Yeah, that was on the Stella. Yeah.
And I believe there had been some repairs to the road.
Yes, they had made a patch on the right-hand side of the road approaching a turn. And they did this in November when it was too cold to be doing road work. So the patch didn't set properly. And as cars drove over it through the course of the day, it just turned to gravel and literally covered the entire side of that side of the road in gravel in the middle of the turn, where it could not be seen at 8:00 at night on a dark November evening.
Right. And you had said, and when you were giving us a report years ago, you said, I'm going to sue the city. And I don't know if you meant it. And I don't think you ever did. But
I didn't.
But it does bring up the question. And I mean, and Jim, you work for the city. Does it take a lawsuit to create change, to elicit change? If he had sued, and I don't think you were suing for financial gain. I think you would have sued to teach them that they can't do that.
Well,
the financial gain too.
Well, it's not gain, but to cover the cost of my repairs, which is still, the bike still has not been repaired from those that damage, unfortunately.
I mean,
not
Jim,
entirely. Is
this what it takes? Do you think? Because for any of our international listeners, we have a reputation for being a litigious country. So, is that what you have to do to elicit change?
Well, yeah, with no doubt, America's a litigious society, and it's unfortunate. Now, it does make for a lot of safer stuff, right? I mean, you don't see the workplace deaths and injury like you do in other places. A lot of good comes from it. But yeah, like Shakespeare said, the first thing we do is kill all the lawyers. And really in Bagel, it depends on the situation. If it's Caltrans, right, the California State Maintenance System, and Bagel crashes on a scooter, and whether it's their fault or not, they're going to deny it. Good luck getting the money from them. If you do actually get your and you have to pay for everything up front. If you do get your scooter repaired and you do follow through with the paperwork and you are patient and diligent, you might get the repair and medical bills covered at the end of the day, but they do not make it simple. And again, it does help elicit change. But again, it's the size of the organization. Bigger the organization, less impact. But it certainly helps. I mean, fucking the pocketbook gets people's attention.
But then I think there are sometimes that people are also abusing the system. So I printed out a bunch of lawsuits involving motorcycles that have happened over the years. I want to discuss so we can talk about our opinion on them.
Do we get the thumbs up or thumbs down?
Yeah. And some of these, there have been a settlement and some are currently ongoing. On this one, and talking about, city and maintenance, this one is motorcycle rider injured by Ann Arbor pothole. And this one, Christine Harris, whose complaint stated she was traveling on southbound Pontiac Trail near Moore Street, claimed the May 2019 incident resulted from the city's failure to properly maintain the roadway. She was riding with her ex-husband, Kenneth Harris, who immediately realized they were going the wrong way on a one-way street, made a U-turn and hit a pothole that caused the motorcycle to tip over and severely injure Christine Harris's ankle, court records state. The city tried to claim governmental immunity and moved to close the case, but Judge Tim Connors denied the city's motion, concluding there was a sufficient question of fact as to the city's liability. The city appealed to the Michigan Court of Appeals, which heard arguments and issued an opinion in January stating the trial court did not err in denying the city's motion. While the city claimed it lacked knowledge of the pothole in question, evidence submitted by the plaintiff showed there was progressive deterioration of the roadway over a period of several years. Despite any roadway defects, the city maintained it was reasonably safe for public travel. So,
bullshit.
We got a couple things here. So this is a poorly maintained road with a pothole, but we also have somebody who went the wrong way on a road and made a U-turn, which then caused them to hit a pothole and the passenger was injured. Who's at fault here?
Well, there's different ways to look at it. What I'll say is, anytime you're on two wheels, you're going to get the short end of the stick from the system. They're going to be like, well, you're on a motorcycle. I think that's a lot of the attitude. At the same time, if you're on a road and you know it's bad and you should be able to see the pothole, okay, there's something there. You have to have some ownership there. But here's my little caveat, and Bagel, maybe you'll agree. we pay a lot of fucking taxes. And it's like, if it's a public road, unless there's a sign up, like if you go to New Igeria or Ghost Town, hey, it's a public road, but we don't really maintain it. So rider beware.
Right.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, your public road should be maintained properly. And the reason I'm so adamant about it is we do pay a shitload of taxes, and it's like, at least in California, fix the roads.
Right.
Well, and in fact,
those high gas prices that you pay, that's supposed to be going for road repair. At all levels.
Now, in fact, Bagel, his scooter was designed to avoid potholes.
Yeah,
it's true.
Well, to make it easier to avoid
to be able to go around potholes
nimble.
caused by all the bombings.
So what I'll say
But you have to be able to see them, though. That's the thing.
Is I think we should hold our road maintenance to a bit higher standard here based on the taxes.
Is there any responsibility on the part of the rider who made a U-turn on a street where they shouldn't be?
I don't think that part really enters into it, because it wasn't the U-turn that caused the accident. If they had been coming down the road going the correct direction and hit the pothole and came off that way, then that still would have affected them. The problem is that it is the city's responsibility to maintain the roadways, and when they neglect to do that, they're putting the public at risk. And that is their liability that they're responsible to fix, because that is their responsibility to maintain, because they are paid to do that by the people, as you were saying, Jim, by paying their taxes.
Yeah. Now I know half of our listeners are like turning over and like just.
Well, let me play devil's advocate here.
Well, okay, go ahead.
So a couple things. I think there's certainly some egregious situations, and perhaps Bagels was egregious, but is it really the government's responsibility to make sure the roads are 100% safe for motorcycles?
Ask the city employee.
Yes. I mean, but
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. What about tar snakes?
What about bicycles? Should bicyclists have to die because they don't want to fill in the holes in the roads?
I don't want to say too much, but go to a bicycle commission meeting in a liberalish type city. These people go fucking ape shit. And if you want to see money spent on bicycle safety, to me, it's the pendulum swung the complete other way. So yeah, we go overboard to make bicycle roads
it's
safe
just hard
for bicycles.
to say. Like, what's the standard? Like, what about tar snakes? Should we not do that? What about grooves in bridges?
Well, my devil's advocate thing is, dude, you're a shitty rider. If you're on a motorcycle and you have someone on the back, you should be able to look at the road and be like, there's a pothole or the shitty pavement. Like, don't be a shitty rider. But at the end of the day, if I did thumbs up or thumbs down, I'd be like, sue the government. They should be better.
Right. There's a difference between tar snakes and bridge grates and holes in the road, because holes in the road can swallow your tire, especially when you ride on small tires like scooters, like I do. When you have a 12-inch hole in the road and you're riding a bike with 10-inch tires, that's a problem. Like that's enough to literally cause you to go end over end on the road.
But again, devil's advocate, is the government supposed to think about all contingencies in all types of vehicles? Because they are licensing these vehicles for road use. The road should be capable of supporting them. And I'm all for good roads. Let me just say that real quickly.
Yes, period. Because if they are licensing these vehicles for road use, the roads need to be able to support them.
All right.
End of story.
I want to move off of this one because we got more to talk about. I will tell you there is a.
So do we get to be a jury? Do we get to have a jury result?
Yeah, we should do that. We should take a vote.
I'll tell you what actually happened.
Okay.
Because in this
let's
case,
take a vote first, and then
because we got more to go on to. In this case,
I already know the answer.
The courts did agree, and they gave her $99,000 in the settlement. And
so it went to trial.
Shortly after, City Council voted to go forward with a $4 million project to repair those surrounding streets.
Well done.
So this is a case where, and $99,000 sounds like hospital bills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it did elicit change that made repairs to those streets. Yeah. So would you say that was a good and fair outcome of a lawsuit?
Sure.
Yes, but it could have ended better if they had maintained the roads properly in the first place.
All right. Well, I want to get everyone's opinion on this next one. Jim, I gave you a very special one.
Okay, near and dear to my heart, of course. Petaluma motorcyclist sues dairy farm after crash involving cow. I don't think there's anyone within earshot of this podcast that has not seen a cow on a motorcycle.
Cow on a motorcycle?
Sorry. Seen a cow while riding the motorcycle. Thank you for the clarity there.
I want to see that.
Topic for another day. The motorcyclist suffered major injuries that weren't life-threatening, according to California Highway Patrol. A Petaluma motorcyclist who contends he was injured, contends he was injured last month after crashing into a cow that wandered onto a roadway is suing the dairy farm that owns the cow. According to the civil lawsuit in Sonoma County Superior Court in Santa Rosa, Mr. Lake is accusing McClellan's Dairy of negligence in the wake of the crash. The 47-year-old alleges McClellan employees did not maintain and secure a pasture gate that prevented the cows from wandering onto Bodega Avenue on the night of June 9th. Makes me want oysters all of a sudden. Bodega Bay. Bodega Bay, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Those breaches were the actual and proximate cause of the subject incident, his lawsuit states. That sounded expensive. Lake's suit contends he suffered wage loss, property loss, medical expenses, general damages, property damage, and earning losses 2 times. The lawsuit does not identify specific damages he is seeking, and his attorney did not respond.
So, cow in the road. Should the farmer be sued?
Yep.
This isn't a city we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, no, this is Petaluma, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they're not suing the city, is what I'm saying.
But they're happy cows.
Okay, no.
Haven't you seen the commercial? Those are happy cows up there.
He was dancing in the road.
But the distinction I want to make is that this happened in at least a residential area, if not, within the city, and from what it sounds like, this is not open range territory, because those of you who've ridden across the country know that there are places that have signs that say open range, which means you have to expect there could be livestock on the road and be prepared for that. If you're riding through Petaluma, cruising through the hills, come around a turn, you're not expecting to see a cow in the middle of the road. And if you come through and there's a cow there, there's not much room for you to move.
Different if it's a dog on the road and your dog got out.
Well, yeah, the dog's a lot smaller, and it's going to cause a lot less injury. But
animals get in the road.
The owner of the dog could still be liable potentially. But with a cow, this is a business, right? This is a dairy farm. And they have people working there who were negligent in their duties, who left the gate open and let the cows wander out onto the road, right? So that is their liability for endangering the public by obstructing a public roadway with a cow in an area that's not an open range area.
Say, having ridden in Pakistan where they let the cows out to go graze on the highway. When I say highway. Yes. It looks like a freeway, but there's a grass in the center barricade. Yeah.
Right. Because the whole country of Pakistan is basically an open range. Right?
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
You expect that there, not in the city of Petaluma.
Yeah, I don't know. That one I struggle with because animals escape.
Right, but they escape because people are negligent. That's why. Well, and that's that human negligence is where the liability comes in that makes them game for a lawsuit.
Yes.
Well, a line to draw here is, what do we think is reasonable and common sense and acceptable? The other is, what does the American justice system allow for? Those can be 2 very different things.
Here's what I'm going to say. My personal opinion is that when I am near schools or homes with driveways, I slow down because you never know if a kid's going to run out.
You pull out some candy.
And when I am in farmland, I never know if an animal might be nearby. And I'm also cautious of that. I accept because it was not out of context to have a cow out of a pasture when you're riding through a road in the middle of pastures. Right? Well, I'm just saying.
I'll say I Googled the road, and it's a 2-lane road through looks wine country and all that kind of shit. 2-lane road. But I would say, if your profession's keeping cows, keep the cows in the gate. And if someone left the gate open and the cow wandered out the gate, because it's like I looked at the farm's right there. So if the cow did wander out on, because you and I, we'd all be doing probably 70 miles an hour. So I would say, you're a professional farmer, dude. Keep your shit together. Don't let the cow out on the on the road.
Oh, so you think the farmer should be liable?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the farmer should be liable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there is no outcome on this yet, so we don't know. I don't. I don't.
I would say your common sense says slow down. There's cows and stuff, so your common sense is slow down so you don't do something silly.
Well,
and hit a
here's
cow
something analogous. If my dog gets out, runs down the street and bites somebody, I'm liable for that.
Yep.
Why would it be any different if he ran out in the street and a bicyclist or a motorcyclist hit him and it went over?
I'd feel really bad. I'd feel terrible.
Sure.
But you're still liable, though. That's the thing.
No, I've had to fend off dogs. So I get it.
Oh yeah.
All right, I have another one here, and then we'll get to yours, John.
Yep.
And this one, lawsuit filed against Mississippi cities by family of man fatally struck during police pursuit. The family of a Mississippi man killed during a police pursuit in August of 2022 is suing 2 cities, claiming the officer's reckless behavior led to the man's death. The family of Stephen Pearson is suing the central Mississippi cities of Pearl and Flowood nearly 1 year after the 47-year-old was struck on his motorcycle by a man fleeing police. In a June 26 complaint, Ray Gustavus, an attorney for the Pearson family, said the chase lasted 26 minutes and that police could have terminated it before Pearson's death. Authorities in Pearl said the August episode started after a city police officer attempted to make a traffic stop and the driver of a sedan took off. The officer pursued the vehicle into the neighboring city of Flowood, where police there joined the chase. It ended after the fleeing sedan struck Pearson's motorcycle. Pearson flew 20 feet off his motorcycle to his death, according to the complaint. Gustavus said the pursuit violated state law. The family is also suing the man who fled from police and struck Pearson. Officers attempted to pull him over for a tint violation.
Oh, jeez.
3 weeks before Pearson's death, another vehicle being pursued by Pearl police crashed into a U.S. Postal Service truck in Jackson, killing the mail carrier. That chase began when police attempted to pull over a man for speeding. So a Flowood city official did not immediately respond to a phone message requesting comment. So police are in pursuit of somebody who's running from the police.
This is why a lot of departments now have policies where they do not pursue.
And the family, which understandably, the family of the man who was killed, they're hurting. I mean,
yeah.
Is it I mean, I struggle with this one for a couple of reasons. I'm just going to throw these all out and then you guys can pounce all over me. How about that? First off, I don't think anyone has a right to tell the police that they should have ended it earlier. We are not trained in that. We don't know what they were dealing with. We don't know. In some cases, they need to wait for approval from upper ranking officer to pursue. They have different counties have different rules on pursuit. I know, in fact, I was in Georgia once and I got pulled over on my motorcycle for speeding. And the cop said, "Wow, I'm surprised you stopped. We're not allowed to chase motorcycles." And I'm like a middle-aged woman on a BMW touring bike. You think I'm going to run from the cops? But they were so used to people knowing that if you run, they can't chase. So they were surprised that I stopped.
And probably still gave you a ticket.
And still gave me a ticket.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to throw in, it does not state, and I do not know, but I want to throw in the responsibility of the rider to wear all the right gear. So I'm just throwing this out, not knowing what the law is in, was this Mississippi? Mississippi, what if there's a helmet law there, right? So if the rider is following the rules of the law and isn't wearing a helmet, but is at higher risk of a fatality, should the police officers then bear the brunt of this bigger claim of a fatality or does the rider bear any of that responsibility to limit the chance of death? You know what I'm saying?
There is a helmet law in Mississippi.
Okay, good.
So here's my here's my thought on this. I think the police are negligent, especially trying to pull somebody over for a nonviolent offense like a tinting. I mean, that just seems very similar for a misdemeanor to try to chase somebody and put other lives in danger. Now, in my thoughts, if it was an armed robbery, if it was something where there was a danger to the other public to let this person go, then I think a pursuit is justifiable. But I would say no, the cops are liable in this case, and the person who fled.
I can also state, because I do watch a lot of YouTube videos of police chases, that now this is a suspicious activity. Why would somebody run from the police if they haven't done anything wrong other than they're getting a tint violation.
That is a bullshit implication. Because there's no shortage of people.
But a lot of people
there are no shortage of people. Liza, there are no shortage of people in this country who are traumatized by the police and have every reason to run from them when they are confronted with them.
But Bagel,
that has nothing to do with guilt.
If that's saying that the police are not allowed to chase anybody who runs from them, we've now completely taken away all their authority.
No, because they can investigate.
Exactly.
They have license plate readers. They know whose car it is. They know which direction they're in. They have aviation. They have all kinds of technology and tools that they can use at their disposal to find the person who violated the law if that's what they want to do. They don't need to do it as, like in Blues Brothers with a massive police chase that puts the entire public at risk because they want to have their thrills to go and have their little rabbit hunt out there. That's exactly what they're doing. And they're putting the public at risk, like this guy on the motorcycle who got killed as a result, because the guy had tint on his windows.
Yep.
Is it the result of the police chasing or the man fleeing?
Both.
It is a result of both.
But who knows, the guy would
primarily because the police precipitated it.
Right. Exactly.
See, this is a case. This is like, I think this is a fair argument. And
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the driver is not at fault, because the driver obviously was exceeding the speed limit and caused the collision that killed this guy.
And he should get vehicular manslaughter at least, if not murder.
Absolutely. But the cops absolutely played a role as well, because they provoked this person into doing that.
So basically, we're saying police should not be pursuing somebody unless there is a known crime of a certain escalating point, right?
Not even a crime. I would say only if there is immediate danger to the public, because I think that there are other ways that those issues should be addressed, rather than having high speed chases in populated areas.
I would like to point out that when somebody does flee, they have now escalated, and they are reckless endangerment. So now the police are chasing them because they've stacked up. The police can provoke people into doing all kinds of things that are law violations. Sure, they can do that, but that's entrapment. I'm just playing. Is it
devil's advocate like John did?
Fuck the police!
Fuck the police! Well, I come down where
is that
John's
NWA?
at.
Are you listening to NWA in your head right now, Bagel?
24/7.
No, I come down like with John. Like, it depends on the offense. Like if this guy, they ran the plates and they had warrants for armed robbery or child abduction, like, fuck yeah, you're going to chase after the guy and all that. But if you're just like hanging out in rural bumfuck Mississippi and you're like unhappy with that guy's tinted windows, or, because like, I don't want to say too much, but, and then you're like on a 30 minute car chase because it's just
that's ridiculous.
Then so I come down with Bagel. I think it really gets down on the offense. And I will say, you give credit to law enforcement because you don't know when what they're up against. And I would err on the side of believing them and what went down.
Well,
but yeah,
to that point, it also put their lives in danger.
Yeah, but
so let me ask you this: if you were on this jury, would you then factor in the cause, the reason for pulling the person over? So if it was something bullshit like tint, does that?
Oh, totally.
Okay,
I'd be
so
like,
that is a factor.
I'd be like, yeah, you owe this dead person's family some money, city, because A, you got deep pockets. Secondly, you should train your cops better. Fucking half-hour pursuit,
right?
And yeah, you know what? You owe this family some money. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if it was somebody who was like, if this is a situation where there was an active shooter who, had a stash of weapons in the car, was going to shoot someplace else, then that's a different situation where you need to stop that person immediately before they do more harm.
Yeah, like an abduction, whatever, right? Yeah, any of that kind of stuff.
Now, we don't know if this guy had warrants out for his arrest or anything.
But even if there's an abduction, I would argue an abduction is also not a case where you want a police chase, because then you're putting the person who's abducted at risk of getting killed because of the chase, the high-speed chase.
I will say, again, as somebody who's watched a lot of police chase videos, once you watch one, they just keep coming up in your feed. Yeah. But I find them fascinating. Yeah. And there are many times where, again, they have to get approval by a ranking officer. Two, once they get into a city area, they and this is, there's different rules in different counties and cities, but in many of the ones I watch, they need to back off while they're going through a congested area, which I get. I mean, there are, for some police, there are all these rules in place to limit that. I get it. I don't know what they are here. Yeah. And maybe a lawsuit like this will cause them to look again at their pursuit rules.
Like, impact it.
And make some change. This might be another case where a lawsuit might elicit change. Just going to say. Mm-hmm. All right, John, you have one there. It's kind of a long one, so
yeah, I kind of paraphrase a little bit. This is a really interesting one. So this is a family in, I believe, Los Angeles. So a 17-year-old kid went out and bought a motorcycle. 34 days later, he got in a wreck and lost his life. Now, the parents are suing the dealership for selling him the motorcycle in the first place. Now, the kid was killed because he made an illegal pass on a U-Haul and ended up crashing, and he was going at a high rate of speed. So the question is now, and let me just say, the mom found out that that he had bought the motorcycle and made him take a motorcycle training class. She did not make him sell it. So, but she's contending now that he passed that the dealership is responsible for the kid's death.
This is a hard one, and I know there's been cases I've heard of where somebody has gone in and bought a Gixxer, and then they leave and die on their way home, and the family's like, they weren't an experienced rider, why'd you sell it? Well, the laws don't say you have to be. So in this case, I mean,
if you got an M1, a motorcycle license, then that
is it illegal for a minor to buy a vehicle?
No,
I don't think it is.
He's an adult too, isn't he?
17.
17. I mean, we got two parents here.
Yeah.
Is it illegal for a kid to buy? And I can tell you, I know the answer is no. You don't even have to be 16. Yeah. You could be 14. Yeah, save up your money and buy a vehicle.
Yeah, and that's where I just come down on Darwinism. It's like lesson learned. You dumbass. You're going to go buy a bike cash and just I don't know. Sorry, but I don't think anyone's liable for that.
No. I think ethically,
personal accountability.
I mean, ethically, I think a dealership should not be looking at selling a high horsepower motor without parental involvement. But it's not illegal.
It's not illegal. And we've had this conversation. We've gone to dealerships and asked them, what do you do if somebody says, first-time rider, are you going to sell them the big bike? In this case, though, this was not a typical dealership. Mm-hmm. And because it was questioned about should they lose their license? Well, they don't have a license to sell bikes. You only need a license to sell if you sell more than 6 vehicles per year. This, I think, is a mechanic shop that maybe flips bikes or sells bikes, kind of like Mototown, right?
Yeah. Mm.
I don't think she sells bikes, but sometimes she'll have a bike she'll sell you, right? And so they don't have a license. They don't have that responsibility. They're not selling new bikes. They're not a dealership. This kid bought a bike. Is there any responsibility on the part of them? Yeah, Bagel?
Well, here's my question, because if he's 17 and he buys a motor vehicle, that's entering into a contract. And as a 17-year-old who is not yet a full-fledged adult, is he legally allowed to do that without his parents'
Did he buy it on credit, John?
Didn't say in the article.
I don't think so.
So let's say cash.
I'm guessing this is a
so
used
if he
bike.
buys it with cash, he doesn't. There's no concern about contracts.
What you're talking about would only be if he was getting credit.
Sign a loan.
Yeah,
that's it.
I see. So if he's, I mean, if there's no legal reason why he can't buy a bike with cash that he's earned himself, I don't see how that implicates the dealer in any of this, because it's not the dealer's responsibility to educate him on how to use that bike. That's up to him to use it responsibly and safely for his own preservation.
So
that's not the dealer's job.
Let me ask you guys a couple of questions. Do you need a driver's license to purchase a vehicle?
I don't know. Maybe to take it for a test drive. I don't know.
The answer is no.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Do you need a driver's license to register a vehicle in your name?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Depends on the state.
No. You need a license to drive on public streets.
Yes, but Liza, it may depend on the state too. Some states may not.
I think this is a case of parental neglect. Only because, I mean, this is what. So this is what she said. when she saw him with the motorcycle, and this is when I confronted him, the kid, about the bike, he wouldn't give me any information, where it was, where the money went, where he purchased it from, said the mother. So she decided her son should just take safety classes. If that was my son and he came home with a bike that he wasn't prepared to ride, I'd be like, no, give me the keys. This is going in the garage until I feel like you're ready to ride it. And how's a kid going to buy assuming it's a multi-$1,000 motorcycle without parents not even knowing where the money came from and when they bought it? This sounds like a very uninvolved mom to me.
I mean, he may have his own job and his own income that he can do that with. He might have sold,
It's a lot of dime bags.
Well, he could have sold other stuff too. He could have sold his old PlayStation game. You never know.
He bought it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But it's America. You buy shit and you have a good time. And if you get jacked up, well, it's on you.
But here's the thing, though, is that the mom did tell him to go take the motorcycle course, and he did, and he passed. So he had everything that he needed to be safe and responsible.
Yeah.
He chose poorly when he was riding. He made a bad decision that cost him his life. That's not the dealer's fault. That's not the motorcycle trainer's fault. That's not even his mom's fault.
I agree.
That is his decision that he did, and he paid the price. I feel it sucks that's what happened, and I really think that he should have had a chance to not end up that way.
Yeah.
But that was his doing. And to come back and say the dealer is at fault for selling him this bike when the dealer didn't force him to make that decision.
Had the bike been faulty,
that's a completely different story.
But used vehicles are as is. Let the buyer beware.
Yeah, as is.
Well,
yes, they are, but if there was something egregious, especially if it's a repair shop that sold the bike, there's a responsibility there to provide vehicles that are roadworthy.
Yeah, well, if
it depends heavily on the state laws as well. But in that case, that's a different ball of wax. In this case, it doesn't seem like there was anything that happened with the bike that caused the accident. It was purely the rider's decision to make a really bad move on the road.
Well, one thing about the mechanic part, just real quick, is mechanics, I think Emma could speak to it, but I think by law, if you're an actual mechanic, you can't let a bike leave your shop knowing that it's unsafe. Mm-hmm. It could be unsafe, but you can't do it knowingly. So just that caveat. I mean, I'm saying, but just that caveat.
That's the clause. I'm going to say that in this case, I don't think that the woman has a case. It'll be interesting to see. I do think that dealerships should bear some responsibility of assessing a rider's ability. I do think. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call into account the bartender law. There are some bartenders who are held liable if they continue giving somebody drinks who leaves and causes an accident. The bartender, in some cases, has been found liable. And I'm just saying, and I'm going to say the same thing. I do think that there should be some responsibility. I know it's sticky ground because how do you even do that?
Yeah,
I know. But I'm saying that I think that there should be some responsibility on the salesman.
Liza, there's no way.
No, I know it's hard, but I think, just basically that's what tier licensing is for, right? Let's make sure that new riders
are supposed to do. What are they supposed to do? Ask the person questions? Are they supposed to give them a skills test?
I know that it's not feasible. That's why I said it may have to be the DMV to get involved.
Well, technically, if you have an M1,
that's what licenses are for, Liza.
Yeah, if you have an M1, you've passed that test. So the DMV has already said that you're qualified to ride a motorcycle.
Right, exactly.
But in tiered licensing, you can't ride a bike above your skill level.
We don't have that, so
I know.
Right,
but
I'm saying
that. But that's what I'm saying. I think that there should be some burden of responsibility for them to assess.
Well, now should that burden be moral or should it be in the justice system? Because one of what we're talking about, there's moral and common sense versus what does it say in the book? And here's where I'm at. If American law allows you to sue some poor bastard and they deserve it, sue the fuck out of them. I know some examples right now where American law allows somebody to sue somebody, and it's not like you're going to make someone homeless. It's big corporation money. Fucking sue them because the law allows for it.
Well, I mean, you get into other conversations about I hate to say that. I don't love helmet laws. I always ride with a helmet. I've never ridden without a helmet. But I just think at some point you got to make your own choices and own decisions, and you live by those choices. So
well, and that brings up the conversation I was saying. I mean, not necessarily related to these conversations, but to these lawsuits. But if somebody is riding in a state where there is no helmet law, and as a cause of an accident, they are killed, which their odds of death were higher because they weren't wearing a helmet, is that now the penalty falls on the driver that maybe caused the accident? Or should any of that burden fall on the rider? And what we were talking about in the garage, which right. I kind of like this idea. I was talking about, maybe this is a poor example. I believe that people who have a very expensive car, like a Ferrari, right? Mm-hmm. If I was to accidentally fender bender in a parking lot with a Ferrari, it could be, $50,000 in repairs, right? I don't know that my insurance is going to cover all that. I believe that people who have a very expensive car and are taking it on the street, they have their own insurance to compensate for people's lack of insurance. Mm-hmm. And I think that the same should also apply if you are going to ride without a helmet, regardless of the law requiring it or not, that you should take on some of that burden of the insurance of what may result because of that.
I do think they should, if you're going to ride without a helmet, legal state where you should carry extra liability insurance.
We already know that statistically your hospital bills are going to be higher.
I would say
put the burden on a rider.
I would say let the free market determine that, not government. Keep government out of it. Let the free market determine that.
Just a caveat about that. Liability insurance is your liability for damage and injuries you cause to other people. Sorry. But yeah, it would be like medical insurance that for yourself that would need to be required for that. Yeah.
And the truth is if I back into a Lamborghini and the limits of my insurance go, if I hit the limit, then I'm personally liable for it, which is why I carry higher limits on all my stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
they could sue you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's controversial. Okay. So I have one more here. And this one, this is interesting. This one, there is a result in it. So we'll see what you guys think. I'm not going to say his last name because it is a French name that's hard to pronounce. His name, I think it's Joey Soulier, but I'm just going to call him Joey.
How's it spelled?
Soulliere. Soulier.
Soulier.
Yeah, Joey. So,
bada bing, bada boom. Hey, Joey.
That's Italian.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
So Joey was riding his motorcycle. So he bought a used 2009 Gixxer 600.
Cool.
Okay. But a used 2009 Gixxer 600. He was riding the motorcycle. I think this was he bought this motorcycle in 2013, 2009. And I believe that this result came to this year. Okay. So he was riding his motorcycle, in 2013. So it was 4 years old. When a Chevy Suburban pulled out of a shopping center parking lot and then stopped. Joey, who was going about 25 to 30 miles per hour, attempted to brake, but it wasn't working. And when he realized he couldn't stop in time, he locked up the rear brake and laid the bike down. He suffered broken bones in his right leg and left ankle. Suzuki recalled these motorcycles in October of 2013, so 5 months after his accident, due to a design defect that led to sludge buildup in the master cylinder and hydrogen gas in the brake fluid, which couldn't be purged from the system. Suzuki argued that there was no evidence of a defect in Joey's motorcycle and that he had the accident because he applied the brake too much. The company's attorneys also argued the driver of the Suburban was at fault for the collision, and the company could not be blamed for what happened. If you didn't guess, Joey sued Suzuki. Okay. Joey's attorneys had previously tried to settle the case back in 2018 for $6.9 million.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
That hurt.
And after the case was sent back for another trial in 2021, they tried again for $1.9 million.
How bad did he get hurt?
That's why we kill all the lawyers.
Broken bones in his right leg and left ankle. Suzuki offered $150,000 a week and a half before the end of the trial this year. And they said no, they wanted to go to trial. He said, I was discontented with it, honestly, because I knew the punitive damage was not make Suzuki do anything about the brake defect. So this is not...
Well,
this dollar amount
they
already
issued a recall, though, didn't they?
They did. Houston said the company still hadn't fixed it after the recall. The problem still exists today. Suzuki's attorneys did not immediately respond to messages. Let's see. Houston explained that punitive damages are awarded in civil trials in part to deter future actions. So let's see. His attorney said his client is doing pretty well, but that's only because of his obsession with his recovery. He's been able to regain a lot of function out of his right leg by putting in a whole lot of work into his recovery. He was told originally he would never be able to walk again. He now has a slight limp because he cannot bend his knee fully. So,
Suzuki's
what do you think about this?
Suzuki's a fault.
Now,
Yeah.
does it matter that he bought a used bike as is?
No.
No?
Not if it's a manufacturer's fault. Default.
Question: how long did he have this bike before the crash?
He bought it in May and he crashed in June.
And had he ridden it at all between the time when he bought it and crashed it?
I don't have those details.
Okay, so I'm assuming he probably rode it for a little bit at least.
I have to assume, yeah.
Right, and then all of a sudden, when he was riding this one time when the crash happened, his brakes failed. That sounds very much to me like this issue that they issued the recall for. And if there was a recall for defective brakes on this bike and his brakes didn't work when he needed them, that sounds to me like an issue where Suzuki's
recall didn't come out till after and were his brakes inspected.
Well, the recalls don't happen as soon as the problem happens. The recalls happen as a response to too many people wrecking their shit.
But we also don't know. We don't know if there was a leak in the brake system. Like I don't know that anyone inspected because it was before the recall. So we don't know if it was inspected. We just know that Suzuki claimed that there was no evidence of a defect in his motorcycle.
But they claim there is no evidence, but was that bike subject to the recall?
Yes.
There you go.
Well, then they have no leg to stand on.
No.
They can't prove that it wasn't defective because they had already issued the recall for that bike.
But they don't know that was the cause of the accident. They're only responsible for fixing that, replacing that part.
Yes.
In a recall. That's it.
But there's a reason why they have recalls, because there are defective parts and systems in the bike that can cause situations just like this. And the fact that they hadn't issued the recall yet, frankly, is evidence that Suzuki is probably more negligent because they hadn't addressed the problem that already existed at that point. They still had not issued the recall by the time this guy had wrecked. And if they had issued the recall sooner, it might have saved him from a lot of injury and pain.
Jim, you're being quiet here. I want to hear your opinion.
Well, it's exhausting, this conversation. But at the same time, as true as all that is, Bagel, and it's fact. You also cannot clearly draw a nexus that was the result of the crash. I could just as easily say it was his inability or his lack of experience or something in the road or whatever it might be. So even though the brakes were subject to a recall, they were defective, and they were on his bike, you still can't conclusively, to the same rule of law, say without a doubt that was the cause of his accident. I mean,
Sure.
I'm glad I got my leg still, but then it sounds like the guy's just like sue happy and all that because the $9 million or whatever his first number was.
No,
was
he
nuts.
lost.
But that aside, you can't for certain say that was the cause of his crash, being on a defective something with a potential defect.
We don't know entirely for certain. We don't have all the facts here in front of us. And it could have been something else. It could have been that somebody had cut his brake line that day before he left the store. Who knows?
I think a car pulled out in front of him. I'd be like, holy shit, and I'd lock the brakes up too.
Again, here's the car pulled out.
Yeah, like
right?
that's like
but
emergency
those are not
stuff.
the deep pockets.
But even and true, even if you lock up the rear, that shouldn't cause you to go down and wreck both of your legs at 25 miles an hour. I mean, there have been plenty of situations where I've only had a rear and I've had to panic stop and I've been fine.
Yes, but what's not mentioned in any of these cases is what kind of gear they were wearing. Was he wearing sneakers or was he wearing adventure boots or racing boots, right? Something that's made to protect your ankles. They don't mention it. I think that should come into play. Do you guys want to know what did happen? Because there was a resolve on this. It's interesting. So in 2018, he won a verdict of $1.959 million. And in compensatory damages, and $6 million in punitive damages.
Oh wow!
Welcome to America.
But Suzuki appealed and won, and he had to pay $112,000 for Suzuki's legal fees.
Oh, geez.
I was going to say the lawyers are who won in all this.
Exactly.
After he got the claim from the previous,
he won, and then they appealed, and he lost the appeal and had
so he didn't get anything then.
No, he got more
He's
charges.
like, dude, I just bought 10 motorcycles. What do you mean I got to give it back?
His lawyers appealed again.
Yeah.
And he was awarded $11 million.
Wow. Oh my God.
$5,000 in compensatory damages and $150 million in punitive damages.
$150 million?
Following a 5-week trial.
Wow.
Jesus.
Lawyers made a lot of money there.
Did you verify that? Like,
yeah.
What?
Yep. A total of $161 million they found Suzuki liable.
So punitive damages.
So I have a scenario I want to talk about.
But hold on. And what they were saying again is, he said, I was discontented. So he said, I warned Suzuki, be careful what you wish for. Oh, wait, let me go back. When they first offered him money, he's like, no. He goes, I warned Suzuki, be careful what you wish for. After the company appealed the first verdict, I was discontented with it, honestly, because I knew the punitive damage would not make Suzuki do anything about the brake defect of the first verdict. That was his reason. The dollar amount is what's going to make change.
That's why Suzuki's not in MotoGP anymore.
Well, hold up. They already issued the recall, though. They already issued a recall. How is he saying that they're not going to do anything about the brake defect? Isn't that what the recall was for?
We don't know the timing.
I don't know. I mean, in a recall, we know there are recalls put out all the time. How do you know about it?
Yeah.
How do you know about it? You have to check the recall.
You get that junk mail you throw
they're
away.
supposed to notify
Second
you.
Owner. Did he get the notice?
Right.
Did he get the notice?
They should have sent him a notice. That's legally their responsibility.
How did they know he owns it? He's a second
owner.
If
he's second hand, then probably not.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So I have another scenario. This is hypothetical, maybe. So what if we're at Vintage Motorcycle Days, and I'm riding in Liza's sidecar, half naked.
This is going to happen.
And we're
all taking turns in the barrel racing.
And we're doing a barrel racing. And I might be a little drunk. So I fall out of the sidecar and I get run over by dinosaur girls. Who's liable? Is the AMA liable? Is the dinosaur girls liable? Is Liza liable?
Hold on, let me just...
You are liable for not holding on.
Yeah,
I'd like to amend this because I think this is very likely it may happen. So I want to know. assuming John is drunk, falls out of my sidecar in the barrel racing as I continue to do another lap to come back and get him and run over him the second time. Am I responsible for him falling out in the first place, for running over him the second time? Or is he responsible?
He is responsible for falling out. You are responsible for running him over on the second lap.
So who do I sue, Bagel? Can you be my lawyer?
Sue everybody. Sue for punitive damages.
Phil has deeper pockets than me, just saying.
Oh, yeah. He installed the sidecar. Phil, we're coming, baby.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Oh. So there you go. I thought that was interesting because we talk about, it's embarrassing when people do these big lawsuits. And you go, why? Is it worth that? This guy got hundreds of millions of dollars to elicit change. Is that just kind of like what you're saying about the cops chasing? Is it the guy's fault for running, or is it the cop's fault for chasing? In this case, is it the fault that the industry won't change unless they get sued for that high of amount? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they are trying to get away with putting cheap parts in their bikes that may not work well in order to save a couple bucks. But if that comes at the cost of people's lives, that there needs to be some sort of way to fight back against that. And our shitty legal system is apparently the only way we have to do that.
Hey, so what's up with Elon Musk and his cars hitting people in lawsuits? There's some deep pockets there, dude. I'm gonna
stopping
get hit
in
by
the
a
left
Tesla.
lane of a tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's one more scenario I want to throw out for you because this nearly happened yesterday. So I'm riding, let's say I'm riding my KTM 990. I'm leading a group of people, and suddenly my bike turns off on itself as I'm riding, and people nearly run into the back of me. Is that my fault? Is it KTM's fault? Or is it the fault of the people behind me who hit me?
Clarifying question. Mm-hmm. Were you aware of this defect before it happened?
Yes, but not aware of how to fix it.
Well,
so not knowing the source of the problem.
That existed.
That there is a problem, but not aware of how to fix it or what causes it to happen.
Well, that's obviously because it's keeping. So you were aware this was an ongoing issue.
So, Liza, what you're saying is you are knowingly obstructing traffic, huh?
Leading a ride, knowing your bike would shut off at any moment, and there may be inexperienced riders behind you. What's your question again?
So,
well,
but again, no, it's motors. I mean, a lot of times it's fucking motorcycles. It's be aware it's a dangerous sport.
Yes, but every rider needs to be responsible for their own own activity, and they need to be prepared to stop if someone else in front of them stops for any reason.
I agree
whatsoever.
So this did happen. Actually, no one hit me.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
But it happened a few times riding around Laguna Seca that my bike would suddenly power off. This is a problem that has existed for a couple of years that will randomly happen, but not frequently enough that I could really deduce it. And sometimes when I'm riding, it'll just power off and power back on, but you have to cycle the pump, fuel pump and wait like 3 seconds before you can then put it in neutral because it won't start in gear and then, do all the things. It has happened in inopportune moments. And it happened a few times yesterday. So today I was like, I need to figure this out. Mm-hmm. So this is on the 990 SMT. At first I thought it was jiggling the key. I could get it sometimes to do it when I would jiggle the key. And I thought that maybe the key cylinder was loose. And sometimes I could jiggle back and forth and I could get it to cycle. I thought that was it. So I decided I wanted to pull the cylinder to inspect it. It's really hard to pull a cylinder from a bike. They are put in with tamper-proof screws. They're
like lock cylinder, you mean? A lock cylinder?
The ignition, yeah.
Ah, okay.
They are not meant to be replaced easily.
No. And that's not the problem.
Yeah. So I dropped the front fairing so I can get better access. And in doing so, the wire, the clump of wires that come out the bottom of it, I was jiggling those and it was shutting off.
There you go. Electrical.
And I'm not even having to run it. I just have it, on so you can see the dash. And I'm like, ooh, it's like these wires are loose.
Yep.
Well, again, to properly fix it, I need to either replace it or I need to remove the cylinder. so that I can assess if there's a broken solder on the bottom or, I'm not sure what's going on there. But I found another fix that I'm hoping will work. I wanted to share with everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim doesn't know. I fixed it, I say in quotes. So here's what I found. So you have the wires coming out of the bottom. They come at an angle. They don't come straight out the bottom. And if I kind of reached down there, kind of tugged or jiggled, sometimes it would do this. So I decided the best thing, since I couldn't remove it or access the inside of the cylinder, that I zip tied those wires up to another wire, basically making it so immobilizing
them in place,
immobilizing them so that even turning the handlebars, whatever, it's not moving at all. And I figured, here's my thought on this: zip tying it, immobilizing it, either I fixed it or I'm going to make it worse over time because now it's got tension on it. And when it comes to electrical, making it worse helps because then you can really discover the problem. And a lot of times with electrical, it's really hard to figure it out. So I figure this is good.
You just better hope you're not passing a semi and it happens
or
again.
make it work. I know. Anyway, I was pretty proud of myself. I'm like, I'll zip tie this up and just keep it from moving.
And hope.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a loose connection.
It works.
Yeah. I mean, there's a loose connection in there somewhere. So, putting some tension on it with, a zip tie may be all that it needs to stay connected.
I'll just say you're I don't know, is tempting the right word, but the motorcycle gods are watching and they're like,
exactly.
We'll see how your fix holds up when you're,
I'll tell you,
at the worst place possible.
At that moment, I decided to use the surgeon's code or the doctor's code. Don't do more damage trying to fix something.
That's a good.
Oftentimes they will say, leave the bullet in. It'll do more damage to remove it.
That's always good advice when it comes to motorcycles.
Drill out and try to remove these tamper-proof screws.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, no.
No. Well, it's an endeavor.
Potentially could have done more damage to the bike. So I used the doctor's code. So that's my little fix.
Check for a recall.
Let me know your opinion.
Sue somebody.
Let me know your opinion if I'm liable if someone runs into me. But Jim, and Bagel, John needs our help. John has a situation I became aware of today.
Oh,
that's an ongoing situation, and this is
cannot be cured with a shampoo.
No. This I believe, and it's not his problem per se, but it is his problem because he is the father, and I believe that parents should be able to decree a parent law and make rules when they need to with your children that John is saying he can't do here, that his son won't listen to him. So do you want to describe the situation?
Yes. So, my son, I hope he's not listening. Love you, Sam, is 28. So we're not talking about a teenager here.
No,
okay?
He's not a kid.
So during COVID, he wanted a motorcycle, begged me for a motor. But Dad, I need a motorcycle. Dad, I really want to get a motorcycle, blah, blah, blah. So they were really hard to find. We did find a really good example in Nevada, which we drove together to pick up. Good running bike, all sorted out, right kind of mods.
What kind of bike is it?
It's a KLR.
There you go.
Brought it home, and he knew the whole situation. Sam, when you get home, you got to get it registered, and you're good to go because he'd already taken the class. So he got a license.
All right. So he's being a responsible parent here. Make sure. Okay.
So we get home, and a couple weeks later, I say, "Hey, Sam, did you get the motorcycle registered?" And he goes, "Well, I need help doing it." Okay, sure. I'll absolutely help you. We'll throw it in the back of the truck. We'll go in there, get the VIN checked out, and get it registered.
Oh, right. Out of state. You got to take it in. Yeah.
No big deal. So we'll just figure it out. So I never hear anything. A couple weeks later, Sam, when do you want to do this motorcycle? Well, man, I'm busy right now. I don't have time. 2 months later, hey, Sam, what do you want to do this motorcycle? It's starting to sit for a long time. Oh, yeah, we'll do it. Let's do it in a couple weeks. Okay. 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later.
Yes.
DMV's not going to like that.
Now it's sitting in our garage, in our house, destroyed house. And I'm like, I got to get it out of there soon.
Ooh.
And I'm like, dude, what do you want to do? Now you're going to have $1,000 at least of DMV fees.
Now you've got a bike that's been sitting, a carbureted bike.
That's been sitting.
Has been sitting.
Stupid California gas.
Yeah. So now you're going to have to do carb clean, new battery,
chains all
Is it
rusty now.
registered?
No.
In his name?
He never registered it.
So back fees.
Back
maybe?
fees out the...
no back fees because it's out of state, right?
But
I don't know if the back fees... Will they follow you?
I don't know.
California... Here's the thing. California expects you to register any bike that you buy within 10 days, I think.
Wow.
Buy it.
So there might be some penalties.
Technically, they could go back and require you to pay the registration for all 2 or 3 years that it sat there
with all those
after
fees.
the purchase.
Yeah.
But your mileage may vary depending on the mood of the DMV clerk you talk to that day.
So my dilemma right now is, now he's like, so do I fix the bike knowing that he might never get to the round to registering it for him? Or do I, right now my stance is, you get the thing registered and then we'll fix it.
Yeah. So that's John's opinion is, I'm going to let him do, does he have the title? Because I knew it was lost at one point.
He's got the title.
So he has to go deal with this. And then John's like, and then I'll fix it. And I said, here's what I think is happening. I think, and we've all been there, when you are out of emotional currency with a project, there's nothing left to give. And I said, John, I think what needs to happen is I think you need to fix it, get it running. That'll put some emotional currency back in the bank for him.
Well, the problem is because his situation's changed. He went back to school, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think he has the money like he did a couple of years ago to actually get it registered. So, and I can't go into my pocket for $1,000 or more.
But this bike is sitting there rotting away.
Yeah, well, it's not my bike.
But it's your son's bike, so buddy.
He's 28. Jim, you're a dad.
I don't know. It's a catch-22. Yeah. I mean, like you started the conversation. He's a grown-ass 28-year-old, and at the same time, you're nagging him to register his bike.
Well, because I got to get out of my house.
John.
Uh-oh.
If he were to sell you that bike
at a steep discount,
at a really good price.
Oh, yeah. Take advantage of his
Liza
need
would buy it.
of money right now.
Liza needs a car.
I'll give you $1,500
with the bill of sale. Now, I'm assuming the original title is signed over to him, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you go to the DMV, if he sells the bike to you where it becomes your KLR, that is a new transaction which you can then take to the DMV within 10 days to register with no fee.
Oh.
So that could be a solution to the problem because obviously he doesn't seem to have a whole lot of investment into this bike and a whole lot of interest in it either.
No.
So if you would be interested in another KLR, that could be a solution to the problem.
I actually offered that to him and he swore to God he still wants it. So we're back in the gray zone.
And then Cooper has been bugging him to help him fix it too.
Yeah.
So he's got all these offers to help him.
Hey, Cooper offered to take it and fix it. So I'm like, hey, go for it.
So I said, this is where you got to say it's Big Papa's rules right now.
He could sell it to Cooper.
He could.
Cooper might need a new bike right now.
There you go.
Yeah. KLR would be pretty attractive right now.
It's hardly went down a hill.
Yeah. The other problem he has right now is when we bought it, we bought it for $3,000. It would have been worth $5,000 during that time. Yeah. Now, the way it sits, it might be worth $1,000 if he's lucky.
No, that's not true. It's a Gen 2?
It's a Gen 2. It's a 2011.
It's still worth $3,000
when it's fixed and registered.
Oh, well, it just needs a carb clean, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. So, I mean, is it plastic tank or steel tank?
Steel.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Here's the dilemma. I just want to get you two to vote. Yeah. Should he fix it and then hope that Sam will get it registered, or should he wait until he gets it registered to fix it?
Because you can get it registered without it running. That's not a problem.
Yes, you can get it registered without it running. That is the holdup at this point. There is no point in fixing a bike that's been sitting for 3 years if it's just going to sit for another 3 years.
That's exactly my point.
That's pointless. That's not going to motivate him to get it registered. If having the bike itself is not enough motivation for him to get it registered.
COVID. Yucks.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I still think you should get it fixed. Only because you have the garage to bring it down to.
Because you think you can buy it for $1,200.
As soon as you...
It's got a KLR size hole in her life right now.
Right, exactly.
As soon as you get your scooter out of there, you can bring the KLR
That's a whole
down.
other conversation.
Yeah. Well, we got time for a couple emails. Bagel, I sent you one. Did you get it?
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
And this email says, good vibes email from Dave Russell, Scotland. Hi, Misfits. I've been meaning to write an email to you guys for some time now, so here goes. I've been listening to the podcast for over a year now, and it's fantastic. As I listen often, I've often wondered why I like it so much. And then I realized that it's because it's like talking and hanging out with my own bunch of friends over here. We are into the same stuff, same humor, and the same outlook on life, love, and friendships, etc. I'm sorry if I waffle on a bit here, but I'm not the best at emails and words, more of a face-to-face conversation person. We have Dodgy Dave, that's me. Itchy Neil, Tom the Birdman, Dave Ski, Resting Bitch Face, Daz, and a few more.
Stumpy John's not so bad anymore, is it?
It's better Resting Bitch Face for sure.
Oh,
Itchy Neil.
Itchy Neil. That's because his farts are kind of wet. When they dry, they get itchy.
I joined the Misfits Club. I've been planning to for a while, to help in some small way with the day-to-day running of the show and to help with the appreciation days.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, cool.
I was almost moved to tears when Stumpy Bergman got his day. That's what friends are for. I've yet to go down the Chinese rabbit hole, but have been down the Korean maxi scooter path.
I thought he was going to say something about Thailand. Okay.
And French moped holes.
Oh, these are holes I have discovered.
Oh, this is a whole episode.
So I know what it's like. I know you guys are heading over to the UK and have an itinerary sorted, but if you change your mind, then you have a safe, welcoming place up here in Inverness. There's a space for bikes and people, etc. I'd make the time to join you, but the last 9 months have been taken up with a new baby.
Ooh, new toy.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
So bike adventure time has been curtailed to the daily commute and odd morning blast. Inverness in the Highlands has some outstanding riding, both longer trips and classic days out. Inverness would be a good base for this. When you do decide to come here, if you need help with where to go and what to do, then just let me know. As I work as a paramedic, so I'm either flying or driving all over the Highlands, so I have a pretty good handle on all the roads. I've waffled on for too long now, so I'll bid you farewell. Safe riding and adventures. Love from your new superfan, Dave Russell.
Hey!
Thanks, Dave.
Well, I can attest. So I have ridden motorcycles around Scotland for a couple of weeks. And Inverness, I will actually be up in that area later this fall.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll be going from Edinburgh up to Pitlochry, the seat of my clan. From there, we'll go over the Kilngorns, drop into Nairn, zip over to Inverness, and possibly hang out for a bit. And then back down to Fort William and Glencoe and back to Pitlochry. But
Nice.
Yeah, right on.
Well, David, I appreciate the offer. Kat and I are not planning going to Scotland. I'm like, can't we just zip up there for a day? He's like, no. If you're going to Scotland, we have to go to Scotland.
Do it. Scotland is magical, man. Yeah, have a wee dram for us.
You don't just do Scotland.
No, Scotland's killer.
All right. Well, I'm not as good. Wait, you know what? I'm going to send this another one to Bagel. It deserves Bagel reading it. Maybe, really? Jim, you can read the one that you have.
Okay, in the meantime, all right. This is from Mike Williams. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
CF Moto at Laguna Seca. Hey, Misfits. Thanks for last week's episode from Laguna Seca, the review of the Ibex 800. It was interesting to hear your impressions and discussions about CF Moto's bikes because last week he became the owner of a 650 Adventura.
Oh.
Known as the 650 MT in the rest of the world. For the past several years, I've owned both BMW RT and GS. This gave me great bikes for both pavement and dirt roads, true. And I love them both equally until 2 weeks ago. While out riding, the shock collapsed on the RT and was going to need a total replacement at a cost of $2,000, including labor. As a full-time graduate student, and that wasn't going to happen. So instead, his GS became his primary bike and decided to trade in the RT on a small commuter. Even with the broken shock, the RT trade-in value covered most of the cost of the new CF Moto. In no way does 650 compare to the RT, but it's a great way to get around town. And in fact, it's covered by a warranty at my local shop, provides a great deal of comfort. That's true. New bike and warranty. So actual owner. So far, the CF Moto has been a lot of fun. I know what works for me and may not work for everyone else. The Kawasaki Versys is a more refined bike in this category. That's a good comparison. But given his limited budget, he decided it was not worth $3,000 more.
$6,800 list price. And this is the one that has the Kawasaki
that's
motor.
the 600. See, I thought that was a great deal.
Yeah.
You know, when you get up to the bigger ones, not so much, but this was a killer deal. It's got the upright cool street bike, and it's got the dirt-oriented thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far he's digging it. Decided it was not worth $3,000, which is real money. He'll keep us posted on how it turns out. Thanks for the podcast. Keep it up. Yeah, goodbye, RT. Hello, CF Moto.
That's the bike.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I remember seeing that wasn't that at AIM?
It may have been,
Yeah, I think so.
But think about it. The rear shock for his BMW was a third of the purchase price almost of the fucking CF Moto.
Did I give you one, John? You got one?
Yep. Okay, this is from Numbnuts Matt.
Hey,
we like Numbnuts Matt.
Dear Stumpy John, Miss Stumpy, Naked Jim, and Liza. What a fantastic Saturday.
Yeah,
agreed.
Thank you very much for letting me ride with the group down to AHRMA at Laguna Seca. I could not have asked for better company. Excellent breakfast on the road. Big thanks to Mrs. Stumpy for spinning one of those huge breakfast plates.
Dude, that hash looked killer. I'm getting that next time.
Great conversation, coffee conversation with Jim. John, the next meal's on me. Anything you want off the Taco Bell value menu. Apologies in advance to Mrs. Stumpy. That's not funny, Matt. Racing action was cool, especially the cacophony of exhaust notes provided by the myriad historic sport bikes. Laguna Seca's fresh asphalt would lithely through the hills with a black racer snake. Okay. Mm-hmm. The corkscrew is no joke. Liza's enthusiasm for motocross made watching dirt bikes effing awesome. Like taking my kids to a monster truck show. I can still smell fuel, rubber, and sandy dirt in my handsome mustache. I wonder if anyone knows of some kind of male grooming products that could help me. I told him Nair is probably the best thing for him. The real highlight of the day was also meeting up with more Matts. Thanks to Breaking Away Matt for the shady spot, and welcome to the new nickname Fold Matt also. Today is the greatest, truly the greatest name for the greatest people. Ride slow and don't gamble. Numbnuts Matt.
Hey.
Yeah, Matt's great. What a great writing.
I love that guy.
I was really glad he joined us. That was a nice addition.
All right. We got one more. You got this one, Bagel?
Yes. This is from Simon Vessel. And he says, hello from your favorite Swede, Simon.
Hi, Simon.
Long time no see. I kind of fell off the wagon with regards to listening to your podcast, but fear not. I'll soon be up to speed again. I am currently listening to episode 497, where you mentioned Miss Emma's method of changing tires. I know you have a YouTube channel. Can you pretty please film the process the next time Emma does a tire change?
I'm looking at you, John.
Yeah, we'll do it. That's absolutely.
One thing I really dislike about the times we live in is that we expect to hand off more and more of regular maintenance to brand workshops. You need special tools, machines, and computers to do the most basic things. Skills that were common to previous generations are being lost. I know technology advances, and that might require experts to a larger extent. However, in this particular case, I think it would make a great piece of documentation, tutorial, or just an opportunity for Emma to flex her skills. Side note, our newest car requires tools just to change a headlight bulb. Our older car and every car I owned before that does not require tools. Maybe they have good reasons for this design, but I suspect it also makes a lot of people take the car to the workshop instead of just doing it themselves. I love you, Simon the Swede.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you, Simon.
And true it is.
Warmed by cockles.
Thank you. We need that nudge.
Is that the tire changing video from the camp out? Or do you have a video of her doing a tire?
Ooh.
Yeah, I did take some video there, but it wasn't anything that I could produce. It'd be fun to get Emma in here and just actually do a proper video.
Dude, that one she did at the camp out was money.
Yeah.
Yep. But this goes totally into the whole right to repair conversation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think he's probably correct that a lot of these car manufacturers are making it intentionally difficult to do simple things like change a headlight bulb so that you have to take it to the shop.
Right.
Because otherwise you're going to have to buy special tools, and then that's just not cost effective.
All right, I won't even get in. I was going to play devil's advocate. I'll let it go. We'll bring it up another time because I needed to say VMD.
VMD.
Make sure the M's in there.
It's coming, yeah.
Vintage motorcycle days, you guys.
It's coming. I know. I got to get my poncho. Got to get my emergency weather poncho.
The M is not optional.
Get your sleep now.
Yeah, I know. Start hydrating now.
So just for anyone who is going to be coming to Vintage Motorcycle Days, heads up, we are going to be doing a live podcast in front of audience in the infield Saturday at 4 p.m. It's in the schedule as 3 p.m. But there is the awards going on for the bike show at 3 p.m. So anyone who reads that and shows up be like, huh? It's after that. It's after that.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. They got it wrong in the schedule. But it is going to be the Cleveland Moto Motorcycles and Misfits Noco Moto Podcast Extravaganza. Yes, we're all going to be there. So come on out.
Nice.
And I just wanted to give a shout out to Josh. Josh sent me a message saying he just broke his ankle. And he's got 2 camping spot and 5 day passes.
We should let Craig know so we can get Giant Craig there.
Can he? No, I don't know if he can.
He was thinking
2 camping spots and 5 passes.
Yeah, that he can't use.
Wow.
So I know.
Man.
I know. So
That's
reach
a
out to
bummer.
me if you haven't bought your tickets yet and are coming. Maybe we can help him out. I saw him on the message boards. He was like, "Do you think it'll be okay if I come with crutches?" And people were like, "I don't know, man. It's gonna be muddy and like."
They got golf carts.
Yeah, but you can't. They're too late to rent them.
Maybe find somebody with a sidecar.
Yeah.
There is that possibility.
Ooh. But yeah, that's going to be rough with a freshly broken ankle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And not be the best
I said
environment.
probably a wise decision. And if you come to Vintage Days, you won't be making wise decisions there.
No.
Unless you do like Phil does and put your motorcycle boot on there.
Yeah.
And leave the boot on. So that's it. What do you guys think?
Well, one other thing, we have a little birdie that's flying the nest today.
Yeah.
So just shout out to Ellie, who's moving up to Washington.
Yeah.
Did she come by today?
She came by, yeah.
Oh, goodbye, Ellie. We'll see you until next time.
Her folks
Have
are here,
fun.
so
She came
she'll be
up.
back.
She
Have a
came up
good
to me
move.
to say bye and give me a hug, and I'm like, "Scram, kid, get out of here."
Well, I hope to see her up here in the Pacific Northwest at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to Seattle.
Nice.
So yeah, if people are coming to Vintage Days, come find us
Yes.
in the campground, and it's simple.
Follow your nose.
There's 2 when you go to the campgrounds, there's the right side and the left side. Left side is family. Don't go to the left.
Yeah.
Go to the right.
Just follow
Look
follow
for
the
the
Bourbon
captain.
Ferry.
And take the road all the way to the last aisle against the edge of the event, and then make a right. And we'll be halfway down on the left.
Look for the naked guy running around.
Look for the pop-up
Which one?
tent mahal that Phil's going to be creating, with all the tents strapped together. And we're going to have.
Should I bring an easy up too?
I don't think you'll need to.
Okay.
He's got it covered.
Condoms and Lysol.
I'm going to have a very Honda VMD this year.
All right.
All right.
I'm
Nice.
bringing my 1970 CT70 and my 82 Passport, and they both still need some work.
And they both need to be tested on the barrel racing track.
Mhm.
Yes.
If we can get them running, yes.
Well, you can always let Johnny Mac diddle them. He's got the gift with the Honda. He is the Honda whisperer.
So I have heard. I'm hoping that we can work some magic there on Thursday night or something. We'll see.
And I just wanted to give another shout out to Phil Cleveland Moto. He's the best host.
Yep.
He takes care of us. I look forward to this so much, mostly because he's got it figured out and sets everything up so that we can have the best time and not worry about a thing. So that's something that really makes it awesome. Yeah. So this is also the time we say thank you to our Patreon subscribers.
Yes, thank you. They're the best.
Even our ones in Scotland.
I
know. I appreciate it. Send us your emails. I want to know let's hear about some more like lawsuits in your opinion. We always think of them as frivolous, but maybe there's a reason. I mean, do you remember the one at Laguna Seca a few years ago? Guy riding the track day went wide, hit a sandbag.
Yeah.
And he lost that, but ended up putting the track day out of business.
In a bullshit American lawsuit. I'll tell you a quick Scotland story. When I was in Nairn years and years ago, we were in a car, very narrow streets with stone walls, and we pulled out in front of the intersection a little bit, and a car hit us. Our fault. We pulled out, couldn't see. She may have been going a little fast, whatever. She hit us and had so sorry. The Scottish woman got out, was so concerned about us being Americans and, you're on holiday and everything else. So she actually, while we're hanging out, just, making sure we're doing the right thing, getting our paperwork in order, she ran down the street to her uncle's house, got a broom and a dustpan, swept up the glass in the street, and then said, okay, everything's fine. Hope, again, sorry you had a terrible holiday and have fun.
Wow.
Just so different than America.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I want to hear it. You know what? I'm going to say, I would like to hear from people in other countries, Australia, England, right? Other countries.
Australia, they just slap you for being stupid.
I know. But do lawsuits happen there? Have there been any interesting lawsuits? Have
Mexico,
they
just throw everybody
change?
in jail.
Yeah, in Mexico, you end up in a barrel.
Or do you think
that taco money handy?
Or do you think it's all bullshit? Let us know. Send us an email at motorcyclesandmisfits@gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Keep those emails coming. Let us know what you think. So this is it. We're wrapping up next week. I'm going to try and get the podcast out Sunday night, though we are going to be still recovering and still in Ohio.
Hopefully.
But we're going to be there recording and doing some special stuff. So it may come out a little late, but I will do my best. So let's wrap it up and get out of here. And I got to go pack. I'm ready to go.
I got to pack too. I'm leaving first thing tomorrow morning, and I still got bikes to finish putting together.
This is it. I can't wait.
Buenos right there.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com. Find the link to everything there. I've got some shirts for sale. Instagram, Facebook, Discord. Check it all out. All right. Thanks, everyone. Let's get out of here. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Seamus.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
All right. What the fuck?
Seamus, Gaelic for James.
Oh, okay.